S-H-E-R.
Welcome back. We've all had printer problems before. You know the kind, when you're late for class, you're late for a meeting, something that you need an important document, and suddenly it just won't print. There's nothing worse, and this has honestly happened to me at least 20 times in my life. Our tech host Romain is here today to help us to ensure that if this does happen, you'll know how to fix it and fast. Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
So far away from you, all the way over here.
Yeah, I know.
The other side of the monitor.
But only 20 times that's happened to you? I mean, that's happened to me like
probably that was an underestimate.
every single day of my life.
Yeah,
you know?
I was lowballing it.
Yeah.
Like, it happens a lot.
I use that excuse so much in school. Teachers just stop believing me. They're like, no,
they don't
really?
believe you anymore. It's
Yeah.
worse than the dog ate my homework.
Exactly.
Like, they honestly don't care. Like, they're like, yeah, okay. You're like, no, seriously. You'd think they'd know since it happens to everybody, right?
Exactly,
But
exactly. So that's why I'm trying to adjust the issue today so that
Yes.
it doesn't happen and that everybody's actually prepared when it does.
Which it will.
Yeah. All right. So there are a few different ways we can address this, and it just depends on what actually kind of printer you have, but it works for almost all of them.
Yeah,
all right?
perfect.
So what I'm going to do is actually show you a quick way first in terms of working with your computer and your printer and making that connection between the two.
Okay.
All right. So this is actually Windows XP that I'm working on.
Okay.
And it should work for Vista and all the others as well.
Perfect.
So basically, all you have to do is go into your control panel.
Okay.
And you can get there by going to Start, Settings,
Okay.
and then your control panel is located right there.
Perfect.
So once you open that up, you'll see a whole bunch of other options in there.
Yes.
So let's, oh crap. Sorry, I made a mistake. I closed it by accident.
There we go.
All right, so there we have it. You see all the options here.
Yep.
And you want to go to
Printer
and faxes. There we go. All right, so we're going to open that up. And here you see I already have a few printers allocated for this computer. But let's say, for example, nothing is there.
Okay.
Okay, what we want to do is add a printer.
Right.
Right there. Okay, so we go add a printer. And Windows is really good for walking you through the different steps in the wizards. Yeah. I mean, as long as you can read and follow instructions, it should work for you. Okay.
All right.
So in this case, it's saying if you have a plug and play printer that connects through USB port, it's basically asking to just go ahead and try and find it for you.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and click next.
Okay.
So here we have an option for. See, it says automatically detect and install plug-and-play printers, but you also have an option for a local printer or a network printer.
Okay.
Now, typically people don't have network printers at home.
Right.
This is more so for work or business or whatever, in the office, exactly.
Okay.
So we're going to do local printer. Okay. We'll also select that option as well. Now, I don't have anything connected to my computer right now, but if you go through, it's going to search, it's not going to find anything. But this will normally fix any problems that you have in terms of communicating with the printer. So you see I got the error message there, I don't have a printer.
But obviously regularly
more than likely would happen. Okay. Perfect. So that's one of the main steps you can do in terms of fixing your computer issues. Okay. And that's normally the #1 thing.
Okay, cool.
Now we can get a little bit more advanced with that, and we can also deal with like the drivers and the software that's required to work your printer. Okay. Now it could be an HP or a Dell or whatever printer that you have. If you go on that company's website, they normally have a lot of tech support on there where you can actually download the software and the drivers for that printer and download it onto your computer and install it.
Okay.
And that also address some of the issues as well.
Okay.
Now, if it's not a hardware problem, it could be your PC has an issue itself.
Right.
And you can actually go to the Microsoft support site. Okay. I believe it's support.microsoft.com. I believe that's what it is. But if you type it in on Google, like anything else, you'll be able to find it as well. But if you go there, download the drivers, and install them, it should work. And again, everything is pretty much step by step. If you can read and follow instructions, I guarantee you it'll definitely work. Okay?
All right.
Now, those are some of the more technical things that could happen to your printer. Okay. Now, there's also some simple things that you may not even think of that could occur. Okay. It could be that you're out of ink.
Yes,
make sure you check that. Sometimes it's as simple as that, checking the ink, make sure that works. Okay. Paper jams.
Yeah. That's also annoying.
That happens a lot of times.
Yes.
And then another thing as well that I find works even before you get to all these other steps is actually just restart your computer and restart your printer. All right. And I mean like a total restart, like actually unplug it from your computer. And then plug it back in. And you may even want to switch the port that it's on to. If it's a parallel port or a USB port, just switch it. Just to see what happens. Yeah, it's basically like a process of elimination. Like if one thing doesn't work, go down the list,
on to the next.
And then you can isolate the problem and fix it.
Perfect.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Now another thing, especially with printers these days, some of them are wireless. So you might want to check that wireless connection as well. Like so the same way that you would connect to wireless internet or anything else, or Bluetooth too as well, you would go through that process, and you can do that. I think I could actually maybe show you right now.
Oh, perfect.
Quickly.
Sounds good.
I think so. Hold on a second here.
Okay.
Network connections, like exactly. So you'd go here, go under your network connections, and then you can go and search for. You can go to Connection Wizard, and then you can connect to your network or whatever it is you're trying to look for. So you can go through the same steps again as you would do for your wireless internet.
Perfect. Now, quick question: what is the difference between network printing and wireless printing?
Now it's actually, it can go both ways. You can use, you could be a part of a wireless network that you're tied into a wireless printer. But there's no real difference actually. It's just if there's a network cable or it's wireless. That's pretty much the main difference there.
Perfect.
But the thing with network printers, you got to make sure that you're actually connected to the right one. Because if you're in like a big corporation or business, there could be several different printers that are on the same network. And you could be in one place and the printer is like on the other side of the building.
And you don't want why isn't it printing?
Exactly. You don't want your document to print in like the HR office. And it's like your resume and be like, why are they looking at it? But anyways,
that would not be good.
Just make sure it's in the location that you are as well.
All right, perfect. Any other tips for us?
Yeah, actually one thing I'm going to mention in regards to your printer itself. If it's over, I would say maybe 3 to 4 years old. Honestly, I'd say get a new one, just to be honest. These days, printers are really cheap. Laser, inkjet, you can get them very cheap, and it's costly. Better for you, instead of trying to fix the the printer, you can just get a new one.
Just upgrade.
Exactly.
Like with everything, I guess it gets old and outdated after a few years, and after a lot of use and abuse.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the one time that I'll actually suggest as a solution is to buy a new one.
I know. Usually we're like, all right, fix what you already have.
We try and keep it cost efficient, but to be honest with you, a printer these days can go for like 30, 40 bucks.
Really?
And get a really good one. But keep in mind, ink does get pretty costly.
Quick question: what's better, laser or inkjet?
Depends on what you're doing actually. Now, if you're a heavy printer, and you're doing a lot of printing, I would suggest you go with laser. Just because inkjet can get it's very like nice, crisp. But ink for that can get very expensive. Especially with the color, those can be.
I almost feel like the ink cartridges are more than the printers nowadays.
Oh, they are. They are. To like refill them, like it's pretty tedious to do.
All right. Well, I think that was a really useful segment. Thanks so much. We never talked about printers before on the show here, so I think I
try to keep it fresh and original.
Try and keep it fresh, and definitely something that causes a lot of problems and a lot of stress for a lot of us. So hopefully now we'll know what to do instead of just panicking like I usually do. And I'm sure you guys found that useful as well. Stay tuned to Tech ER. We have more after the break.
Tech ER.